My client, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, also has an absolute right to remain silent. Under the law, she has a right not to testify if she so chooses. And if she elects not to testify, you cannot use that fact alone against her in this trial. She doesn't have to testify, but she may testify. In this particular case, ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Denise Schabusiness was friends with Shad.
Okay, this is a nitpick. What do you think about the use of her full name? Here's what I'm thinking with that. And this is just how I react to using the full name. Right, Strawberry? Stop licking that ear unless you're paying medical bills. All right. All right. The reason I mentioned that is because I think, at least in my head, if she said, Taylor Schabusiness has a right to a defense, or Taylor Schabusiness is presumed innocent, I think that humanizes them. But I think if you say Taylor Denise Schabusiness, see, you never hear anybody's middle name unless they've done something really bad.
See, yeah, okay, that's actually a very good nitpick. I agree with that. That's good. See, but almost this goes back to not believing in your case, and those are the type of mental errors that you make when your heart's not really in it, right? Because you're mailing it in, you're Johnny Lunchbucking, you're just going through the motions. If you believe in it, if your passion's in it, you're going to say, my client, Miss Schabusiness, is presumed innocent beyond reason unless she's proven beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. And you're going to see that there's doubt in this case. Now, there may be doubts, and I would really have pushed her to go for the lesser, because I'd say, we don't know what happened in that room that night. The state doesn't. None of the witnesses that you will hear from were in that room. The only persons that were in that room were my client, Miss Schabusiness, and the decedent in this case. And
That's a good point.
And the window into that room comes from her mentally distorted mind. So what she says, can you trust her mind beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt? And if you can't, what is the state going to prove? They're going to say, at best, she acted in a fit of impassion, of enrage, without planning. There's no evidence of any planning from any witness on the witness that will come out. You will hear about somebody who died as an accident, and maybe in a heat of passion where she couldn't resist, but no pre-planning. Nobody would pre-plan to kill a son in the basement of the child. In fact, the dissections that occur later, which are horrific, don't go to the intent that happened at that moment. And the only window we have into that space is Miss Schabusiness's mind, which is obviously detached and insane. So that is a heat of passion killing. The state has overcharged. And we have reasonable doubts. Now, I'm not saying that it absolutely didn't happen the way state stated, but there was no burden on us. The burden is over on the state's table. They have to prove beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt that she killed with an intent, a conscious predetermination. And that they will not do, because it's just as likely, the evidence is just as likely to show that she killed as an accident, or at least in the heat of passion. And if that's the facts, we have to operate rationally. We apply the law rationally, despite the destruction that you're going to see and the gruesomeness and the craziness that you're going to see afterwards. The law says that we have to follow the facts, and the facts have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt by the state, and they will not prove first-degree murder. At best, they will prove second-degree murder, or perhaps that she was in a fit of insanity, and that's the window in the mind that you will see in the courtroom, and that's what the evidence will show.
You raised an interesting point. I don't recall at any time that he ever brought up the lesser included as a possible out for the jury.
But again, that's Schabusiness's deal. So she may not have given him permission to make that argument, but that's true. The better argument.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That would be the better argument to make.
And I mean, am I out of line? I mean, you watched
Nope.
all the evidence in the trial. I think that is the
No.
correct argument.
That's the best argument I've heard so far.